We're now live, it says. All right. Deer in the headlights face. All right, so we'll wait till a couple of people join, and then we'll start doing some introductions. Cool. Hi, everyone who just joined in.
Hello, hello, hello.
So we're going to give you guys a little bit of time to warm up and get more people watching before we start getting into the interview. But the disembodied voice that you're hearing is... I'm Meagan Marie, the Senior Community Manager at Crystal Dynamics, and I'm here with Nathan McCree, the super talented composer of the original 3 Tomb Raider games.
Hello.
So, we're going to just let more people join in, and then we're going to get going with a Q&A. So we have questions for people. Yes, like my handwriting. It's really low production value here, but we're trying out live for the first time. We're excited, so you guys can definitely give us some feedback. Let us know what you think of these live Q&As, so we can hopefully do this more in the future. That's his I've got secrets face.
I can see somebody.
All right, so we'll give it another couple of minutes. But as we're chatting, you guys are very welcome to ask questions in the chat. I will try to keep up with them. We're going to preview a couple of songs. Nathan's got some... We talked in the car ride over here, so I know what's going on. He's got some cool little tidbits to drop on you guys, which is exciting.
Yeah, hopefully you'll like them.
All right. Well, you know, we've already got almost 300 people in chat, so we can go ahead and get started. Okay. And, yeah, this will probably go for about 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll also save this afterwards, so you guys will have a chance to check it out later and share with your friends a little bit later. Okay.
Super.
So, to reintroduce ourselves for people who just joined in, I'm Meagan Marie, Senior Community Manager at Crystal Dynamics. We are here with Nathan McCree, the original franchise composer for the first 3 Tomb Raider games.
Hello.
And we're actually in the Czech Republic. This is kind of crazy.
We are. Yes.
I'm in your studio in the Czech Republic.
Yes, this is where I live pretty much for most of my life.
Yeah, so we're both here actually presenting, well, this is where you live currently, but we're both here presenting at a local game conference called Game Access.
Indeed.
Which is really exciting. And so you'll be talking about Tomb Raider and your work and speaking to some game devs in the next couple of days, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about music in games.
Yeah, so I couldn't have this opportunity to be in the same city as you and not get an update on this Tomb Raider Kickstarter,
Absolutely.
which is going to be the majority of the conversation here. But let's start off first with talking about last year. So last year was a really big year for you.
Yeah.
At the concert. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Yeah,
so, you know, I've been trying for a long, long time to get this whole kind of project off the ground, and a few years ago I managed to have some good conversations with Square Enix, who agreed to let me have the license to exploit the music. So finally I've got the go-ahead to make the Tomb Raider Suite album, but last year, because of the 20th anniversary of Tomb Raider, there was an extraordinary opportunity to put on a live concert at the Apollo in Hammersmith in London, which we did. I wrote...
Look at this, you guys. This is incredible.
The Tomb Raider Suite score. There's 3 of these, by the way. This has, you know, all the music in it from Tomb Raiders 1, 2 and 3. But not only that, I've taken all the most popular pieces from those 3 games, and I've extended the game cues to about 3 minutes each. So there's lots of new material in there, but hopefully it's keeping in with the same style as I wrote it 20 years ago. So for the concert, I wrote this score, and we had the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra and the City of London Choir perform it on the 18th of December. And we had about 2,000 people there, and it was absolutely fantastic. We had, I think, 3 standing ovations that evening, and it was it completely bowled me over. I was absolutely amazed by it. I thought the orchestra and the choir did a fantastic job. We had Shelley Blond there, who's the original voice actress for Lara Croft back in 1996. We invited her to be the presenter of the show, and she did a fantastic job. She was brilliant with the fans, and yeah, you know, we also had a guest appearance of Winston. We had a live
That was
Winston come on stage to give Shelley a bit of hassle. So that was quite funny. And the orchestra was conducted by Robert Ziegler, who's famous in his own right. He's an excellent musician, an excellent conductor. And yeah, so it was a really wonderful evening, and I'm very, very thankful to everybody that came. We had people from all over the world that came to that, all over Europe. We had people from Brazil.
Singapore.
Yeah, it was really extraordinary. So I'm really thankful to all those people for making, my dream come true.
So that was Tomb Raider live in concert.
It was.
And it was based off of the Tomb Raider Suite,
Yeah.
which, for those people who weren't allowed, that couldn't be there, is very important. They want to hear the music. They want to be able to take the music home and play it. So,
Sure.
So you recently announced this Kickstarter, and I know everybody would love to hear more details about it. Really quick, I'm going to reintroduce you, though, just for people who are joining on.
Okay.
So if you just joined on, we are here talking about the upcoming Tomb Raider Suite Kickstarter with original franchise composer Nathan McCree. I'm Meagan Marie, community manager at Crystal Dynamics, and we're in a studio. We're talking about the music, where all of the magic happens with the music, so it's pretty cool. All right, so let's hear a bit about the Kickstarter.
So, one of the arms of this project is to make an album of the Tomb Raider Suite. Obviously, we need quite a bit of money to do that, but we're going to record a live orchestra in the most famous recording studio in London, Abbey Road Studios, where the Beatles used to perform, or where they used to record all their albums. So we're going to go there. Like I say, with a full orchestra, and we're going to record this music. We're going to record the whole thing, so you can buy the album. There'll be CDs, there'll be deluxe version CDs, there's going to be vinyls, several different kinds of vinyl releases. What else have we got going on in the rewards? We've got lots of merchandise which you can buy, which is all about the Tomb Raider Suite. You can even come out to dinner with me if you fancy it. And there's also going to be some other celebrations that hopefully Megan will be able to attend, and also Shelley. So there's lots of things there at all different price ranges, so I'm pretty sure there'll be something there for everybody. So please do support the project. We do need your support on this to make it happen. And by supporting the project, you will be able to be a part of this historic recording, should I say. I think I was looking for the word, but that's what it's going to be, a historic recording.
And that's pretty cool, because instead of just being able to pick it up at a store, you're going to be able to, choose you can just get the album, or you can get the album autographed, or you can get the extra things. So depending on how much of a collector you are, I made sure to ask that there are going to be tiers for us collectors where you can get all of the physical things, because people like me want to be able to buy everything and make sure they're not missing out on anything so they can add it to their collection. So for those of you who are collectors, I think this will be a pretty fun Kickstarter.
Almost everything that you'll be able to get signed versions of. So there's loads of collector's stuff there. So if you actually don't want to keep hold of it and you want to sell it on eBay at a premium, well, that's up to you.
Awesome. So talk a little bit about why you decided to do this on Kickstarter, and the freedom that it kind of afforded you to choose, the different tiers, and to offer rewards and prizes and so on.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to kind of have full creative control over the project. When I spoke to Square Enix about it, they were very happy about that, as long as I don't do anything derogatory towards the franchise, which of course I don't want to do anything like that. So they've pretty much given me full creative control over it. I can't really say what the details are of the deal, but Square Enix are 100% behind the project. So too are Crystal Dynamics, and they are providing me with a great deal of support in terms of publicity and PR and marketing. So I'm very grateful to both those companies for getting behind me on this. But because of the sort of creative control, if you like, that I've retained, it's also my responsibility to fund the projects. That's what I did for the live concert. I'm also going to do the same for the album, and there's also a possibility of making a documentary a little bit further down the line. So again, you know, all of this is kind of under my control, and it's better for me that I provide the funding myself. It gives me an opportunity to offer more towards the fans, basically. You know, doing a Kickstarter means that we can offer rewards which are more special, and it means I can offer things which I wouldn't be able to offer if there was, you know, another company funding the project. So that's why I think it's better to do a Kickstarter, and it means that you can partake in the project, you can be a part of it, you can get your name on the album, you can be in the credits, you can, you know, you can be there, you can be on it forever. Your name can appear on this album.
That's exciting.
So that's something which you wouldn't be able to do if we, say, had a record company involved who would fund the recording. We wouldn't be able to offer that to you. So I think this is a really great thing for you guys, and I really hope you're going to join me, and together we can make this happen.
We will. I have really great faith in the Tomb Raider community, knowing how passionate they are and how all of us love that music so much. So I think it's going to be great. I'm going to do another reintroduction quick for people who just joined. We had a couple of questions about what we're talking about. So for those of you guys who just joined, we are talking with Nathan McCree. He is the original franchise composer of the music from Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, including the incredible, iconic Tomb Raider main theme. Last year he had a concert, a Tomb Raider live in concert, and now in this month, is it May already? Oh man, it's May already.
It's May already.
Sometime this month, we are going to help promote this Kickstarter that he's kicking off for the Tomb Raider album, the Tomb Raider Suite. Exactly. So that's what we're talking about. Yes, that is a nice sign, isn't it? We did
quality
wasn't
production.
A printer. I didn't have access to a printer, so you get to see my nice handwriting. Great. So before we get into some questions, I know that questions from fellow fans who are tuning in. We want to listen to a track. So do you guys want to hear a track, one of the reworked tracks from his album? Excited? Yeah? Okay, so what are we going to listen to? We're going to listen to Time to Run.
We are indeed.
So this one, do you want to introduce the track and where it's from in the game and kind of how you reworked it and changed it up?
Yeah, so Time to Run is from Tomb Raider 1, and as far as I remember, because it was a long time ago, it's at the end of the game when Lara is escaping from the last tomb that she's in. I think it's on a timer. She has to get out before the clock runs out, and the whole tomb is kind of collapsing around her, and she has to find her way through the maze of tunnels in order to escape before she gets crushed to death. So this is what I wrote the piece for. It was already, I think, about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes long, but I have extended it. I've extended the sort of end section, the sort of climactic point, so it gets quite busy at the end. Yeah, and hopefully a little bit more exciting. Okay. So let's play it.
Let's listen. All right, so we're going to listen to Time to Run.
Shout if you can't hear it.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. You're definitely getting a lot of love from people. They were commenting, nostalgia bomb. Someone said you're a god. Yeah, but everybody was really loving that. So if you just joined us, we're talking to franchise creative director. I just promoted you.
Hey.
The franchise composer for the first 3 Tomb Raider games. So he's in charge of, or he made the first original theme and all of the music in the first 3 games. It is really exciting to be here talking with him because there's going to be a Kickstarter soon.
There is.
So that people can get this. And so this was just the version off your computer that you reworked. And so this will be recorded, as you said, at Abbey Road Studios by a live orchestra.
Yes.
I don't know if we touched on the fact that it'll be a bigger orchestra, correct?
It will
than at the concert.
Yeah, it'll be a bigger orchestra than at the concert. We were under quite a tight budget at the concert, so we only had 66-piece orchestra at the concert. We are planning to have a 76-piece orchestra in the studio at Abbey Road, and we're going to increase the voices in the choir from we had 16 at the concert. We're going to have 20 in the studio, but I would like more. So if we do get more funding than our minimum goal, I'm basically just going to spend it on the orchestra and make the choir bigger, and probably the brass sections I will make bigger.
Very cool.
So anything over, the goal is going to go into the recording, basically.
You're getting a lot of people requesting for us to play Venice. Maybe we can at the end after some questions.
I can do.
I can listen to everything. We can just sit here and.
Venice hasn't changed. I haven't changed Venice. I thought about changing it, but I like it so much.
Don't change perfection.
Do you know? Sometimes less is more, and it just works as it stands. And so I didn't mess about with it. I just kept it as it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very happy to play that if people want to hear it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do a couple of questions and we'll take another music break and we can listen. We can see you bob your head for 3 minutes. I know it's a little bit.
I was thinking about getting this little flyer here,
and
getting Lara and
just having her.
I can do it, and just sort of dancing her around.
There you go. Yeah. All right, so let's go to a couple of questions. So we gathered these from Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and so on. So from Twitter we have Joshua, who asked, what was your favorite piece from the suite which was performed during that amazing night at the Apollo?
Well,
it's a hard question.
It was good to hear Venice. I do like listening to that piece. But I was also very impressed with In the Blood. Now, In the Blood is a new track which I wrote specifically for the Tomb Raider Suite, and it had its premiere, if you like, at the live show in London. That piece for me, I really like it. I don't know, maybe it's because it's a new piece, I'm not sure, but I like the way I've reworked the Tomb Raider theme, using slightly different harmonies, so it gives a different edge to the melody. I think the piece has a very nice sort of calm beginning, and it's got a great crescendo towards the end. And they performed it really well, so I think that's probably my favourite, and that's also the piece which I've used in the promotion video to help us get funding for the world tour, which we haven't talked about yet.
We haven't. Well, there's a question about that later, so we'll get to that
in a minute.
But it's pretty cool to think that 20 years after you started working on the Tomb Raider franchise, you're creating new music for it. Like In the Blood was an example of creating something two decades later that's still drawing life from the original games.
Yeah.
So I can see why that one would be really personal and meaningful. That's pretty cool.
It's been a really lovely experience so far, revisiting all this music. I thought when I set out on this project, I thought I was going to struggle with motivation, revisiting music that I wrote 20 years ago. Often, and I've said this before, and many composers will appreciate what I'm saying, is that when you listen to music that you've written a long time ago, you always think, oh, that's rubbish, God, I could do it so much better now. And that's probably true, you could do it better now. But when I went back to it, I actually thought to myself, you know what, I like these pieces, I do like them, and I think they're pretty good, even though I say it myself. And so I was pleasantly surprised that I wasn't demotivated by it. In fact, I was really spurred on to write the new material and stretch out these pieces to 3 minutes each. It was really enjoyable experience.
Very cool. All right, next question. What are some of your musical influences? Any favorite film scores?
Yeah. Well, one of my favourite films of all time, one of them, because I've got quite a few, is Blade Runner. And the score that Vangelis wrote for that, I just think is brilliant. I absolutely love it. And I've got the album to that and the extended album that he released. He also released it about 20 years later as well, the extended album. And that's also brilliant. So I do like that. I also really, really like the score for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Steven Spielberg's film, which was John Williams, of course. And the sequence at the end when the mothership comes down and they're going din, 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 and then the mothership starts playing back all this stuff. I mean, that is just a real moment in film score history for me. That's just fantastic.
Cool. All right, so Kyle asks, which was your favorite to compose and why? Did we answer a little bit of this with the last question? So,
which was my favourite
your favorite track?
Out of the three to compose. Oh gosh. Well, I did enjoy writing Venice because it was a bit of a challenge. I had to do a bit of research into Venetian music, particularly from the Baroque period. So I listened to a lot of Vivaldi and Bach and a few others. Albinoni, I think, was another one. And I had to kind of go back to my music education days when I was taught how to analyse musical form and structure and instrumentation and this kind of thing. So that was a challenge to sort of to write something that sounded like it had been written from the 18th century, if I've got my dates right, when the Baroque period was, somewhere around there, 17th, 18th century. That was a bit of a challenge, and so because of that reason, it made it a very interesting piece to write. But I also enjoyed Something Spooky in That Jungle because of the Indian rhythm section and the sitar. That was good fun, trying to get the sitar sounding real. That was tricky. But yeah, when I'd finished it, I really liked that piece. And the extended version, I think, is even better. So yeah, there you go.
That's great. All right, so this is a nuanced question, but I like this. So Dan on Facebook asked, does this mean an official soundtrack collection will be released? So this is the Tomb Raider Suite. This is your reworked ones, but it's a selection. It's not everything from all the games.
That's right. Yeah, it's just the Tomb Raider Suite is a collection of the most popular tunes from the first 3 games. And those tunes, like I say, have been embellished and extended. The official soundtracks, that is the original cues from the games, untouched, unchanged. I do have license from Square Enix to release those, and I will be releasing them. There is some work that I need to do on them, namely with the cutscenes and the F&V sequences. I need to rework those sequences and strip out the vocals and the sound effects, because I only have the final mixes of those. I don't have the actual MIDI construction files. I think I've got them from Tomb Raider 3, but not 2 and 1. So there's a bit of work that needs doing to that, but I do have the original machines that I wrote the scores on back in 1996 with the original orchestral boards in both machines, so I can faithfully reproduce the sound exactly as it was 20 years ago. So I'm going to be doing that, and yes, that music is coming. It won't probably be this year, but next year is likely, I would say, and that still keeps us in with the 20th anniversary of Tomb Raider 3, so I'm not missing the window too much, hopefully.
Great. You have a lot of people that are saying that they really enjoyed the concert and thanking you and so on. There's a lot of positivity in the comments right now. For all of you watching, we'll take some questions directly from you guys shortly. If you just joined, I'm Meagan Marie, the Senior Community Manager at Crystal Dynamics. We are both here in the Czech Republic. I am in Nathan's studio. Nathan McCree, the original franchise composer for Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. We are here talking about the Kickstarter that he's going to kick off, so that Kickstarter you're going to kick off, so that you guys can get the music, the Tomb Raider Suite, which was played at Tomb Raider Live in concert last year. Yeah. So I think because people are requesting so much music, we're going to play an extra track, just probably we can end on Venice. So why don't we do She's Cool now?
Okay, so this is a little bit more mellow. She's Cool was actually only about 20 seconds long. It's from Tomb Raider 3, and it was used, I think, on the results screen when you finish a level, and it was quite a short piece because of the nature of where it was used, but I really liked the combination of the synthesizer pad and the Rhodes playing the Tomb Raider melody, so I thought it would be a good piece to extend. So this is now considerably longer than it used to be. Anyway, so I hope you'll like it.
So for those of you in chat, if you can do us a favor, and if people are asking what we're up to, just fill them in the comments while this is going on, so that we can let the music stand on its own and not interrupt. But we'll let this play for, how long is it?
It's 3 minutes 22 seconds.
3 minutes 22 seconds. All right, so you guys can keep everybody in the know if they pop in while we're listening to that. We'd appreciate it. So this is She's Cool by Nathan McCree. Beautiful. Someone said, I used to sit on the end-level screen just to listen to this. Yeah, that's great. Thank you to the person who commented and told me that you can pin a comment. So now I have pinned a comment for anybody who comes in that says that we are live with Tomb Raider composer Nathan McCree. It's the first time that we've been trying out Instagram Live, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If we can continue to give behind-the-scenes looks at stuff like this in the future, I'd love to keep doing that. So if you just joined us, I am Meagan Marie, the Senior Community Manager at Crystal Dynamics. I am here in the Czech Republic with Mr. Nathan McCree.
Hello!
And we're talking Tomb Raider Shop. We're talking about the upcoming Tomb Raider Suite Kickstarter.
We are.
So, I ended on a hilarious question. Okay, so we're going to get back to some Q&As with people from that tuned in on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and so on.
Yeah.
And I bet he didn't think that this one would be asked, but we're going to ask it. So Raymond on Facebook asks, what is your favorite type of bread, Nathan? Everybody wants to know.
My favourite type of bread.
Tie it to Tomb Raider.
Well, do you know what? I remember when I was working at Core, we had the most amazing breakfasts. This guy used to come to the studio and deliver the orders, which we'd placed, an hour before or whatever. And they used to have these things called half loaves. And it literally was half a loaf of bread. You had to get both hands around it like this, and the bread was about this thick, top and bottom, and inside you had like sausages, bacon, mushrooms, baked beans, fried eggs.
All right.
Proper sandwich. I mean, it's the biggest sandwich I've ever seen. It's probably bigger in the States. There's always bigger things in the States. Mm-hmm. But these things were called half loaves, and I just remember eating those every day when I was writing Tomb Raider. It was the thing I used to look forward to, because of course we'd have gone out the night before. We're always feeling a little bit hungry. So it was good to get one of those breakfast rolls down your neck.
Well, there we go. We somehow managed to tie that to Tomb Raider. Thank you. All right. So Rosina asks from Facebook, did you like Troels Fullman's work on the Tomb Raider trilogy, and what did you think of his work particularly on the remake of your first of the Tomb Raider main theme and so on? Since Anniversary was a remake and used a lot of the same musical cues and so on, what did you think of everything there?
Okay, so I'll talk about the Anniversary first. First of all, I was really happy that someone had reorchestrated all that work, all of my tunes. It was quite a humbling experience. And it was also very interesting to hear another composer's interpretation of that music. So I listened to it all, and I've listened to it lots and lots of times. I've listened to how he's orchestrated things and the instrumentation that he used. And I think he has changed bits and bobs here and there. He stayed faithful to much of it, but yeah, there were some alterations and some extensions which I thought were really good. I can't fault the work that he does. He's an extremely good writer, and he's an extremely good orchestrator. I think we have different styles. I think, had I done the Anniversary version, it would have sounded pretty much like this thing here, which I've been working on for the last 5 or so months. I think my orchestrations tend to be more minimalistic and a little bit more intimate, and Troels seems to go for a more sort of grander, a bigger orchestral setup. It's a more Hollywood sound than my sound. I don't think it was wrong or anything. It's just perhaps not what I would have done. But like I say, that it's to everybody's own taste. I liked it, and like I say, I thought it was fascinating hearing somebody else reproduce my work. So that was the Anniversary stuff. The other music that he's written for, I think, Legend, was that his first one? I think, yeah.
Correct.
I like listening to it. It makes for interesting listening for me, again, because he drops little hints to the theme tune here and there, and there's little nods to the stuff that I did and that's, again, it's very humbling to hear somebody do that. And you know, Legend was again a different game. You know, each time there's a new Tomb Raider game, there's a progression in the technology that they use, and so it warrants for a new score each time. And yeah, I think Trolls did a good job with Legend. I think after that was Underworld, and Colin O'Malley came in on that. I think Trolls
along
did
with
the theme
Trolls,
tune,
correct? Yeah.
But Colin O'Malley did most of the in-game stuff. And again, you know, his style was different, and he created some really amazing textures. Yeah.
It's kind of I mean, just like with fans and just with anyone attached to the creative aspects of the franchise, it's interesting to see how they interpret Tomb Raider and what Tomb Raider means to them, and how they capture adventure and these worldly sounds, and it's very different. But I do like that the classic theme is something that kind of united, you know, that first large set of games and something. And it's cool to see how many people have done their own remixes, just fans. Yeah. Like, do you listen to fan remixes of your music?
Yeah, I do. I listen to, you know, all of them. Whenever somebody says, oh, there's a new remix of, you know, theme tune or whatever, yeah, I always go and listen to it. There's some great ones. There's some of my favourites have been just on the harp alone. People have played the whole theme tune just on a harp. Yeah. It's like, how do they get their fingers around all of that? But yeah, and then another guy's done it on a guitar, and another guy's done it on a piano, and yeah, it's always fascinating to hear what they do. And I'm always note picky as well. I'm always like, oh no, you didn't get that right. And, no, the harp part's not.
If anyone's allowed to be note picky, it's you. Awesome.
But yeah, you know, the score isn't available to you guys, and so you've made your mixes from, you know, just by ear alone. So, you know, that's a talent in itself. So, you know, well done to all you guys, and it is really lovely hearing those remixes. Yeah.
So here's a question that we've been waiting for now. So Ben on Facebook asked, will there be another concert, as I missed it last year?
Well.
Let's get into this. We're talking about Tomb Raider Suite and Tomb Raider Live in concert with Nathan McCree.
Okay, so obviously not obviously, but to tell you, the London show was a success as far as me and my team were concerned. So our next mission was to roll out a world tour. So we've been working on that since Christmas and trying to get that in place. And the good news is that it's very likely going to happen. We have progressed forward a number of negotiations, but one in particular is very, very favourable right now. I'm pretty confident we should see some more live shows of the Tomb Raider Suite as early as this summer, but certainly by the end of this year. But I think in the summer you should see some shows coming up over in the States. We've also had some talks about moving it across to Europe as well, starting probably in Germany. And I'm sure if that happens, then we're going to roll it across the rest of Europe, you know, France and Spain and Italy. I know there's a lot of people in Italy who want to hear it, and, you know, and the Czech Republic as well, of course. In fact, I've been talking, I've been having some chats with the Minister of Culture in Prague, who is also very interested in the live show. So I'm hopeful that we can get the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra to play this pretty soon.
And when you do have news and when that starts to solidify, we will definitely be sharing that with everyone across all of the Tomb Raider Facebook pages, because we want everybody to be able to come out and see this for themselves. If it's anything like the one in December, you'll be in tears. Your eyes will be watering when you hear those notes played live.
There were lots of people in tears at that concert. It was a really amazing experience, I have to say. It was really wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, you know, I'll keep you posted on that. I'm pretty hopeful to give you some solid news. Maybe in a month, probably 2 months. But yeah, we should be able to say some definite news and have some venues and some dates for you by then.
Great. Sure. So we've actually been streaming for quite a while, which is awesome. But that probably means that people didn't get the first part of this stream and hear about the Kickstarter. So could you go through just the general Kickstarter timeline, sort of the things that you're offering again for people who are joining now and didn't hear about the goodness?
Okay, so we're going to record an album, a studio album of the Tomb Raider Suite, of which I have the scores here. There's 3 of these. I can't pick them all up because I only have 2 hands. We're going to record this at Abbey Road Studios with a live orchestra, 76-piece orchestra and a 20-voice choir, but hopefully a bigger orchestra and a bigger choir if we get significant funding. So anything over our initial Kickstarter goal, I'm going to put that money into the orchestra and make the production even better than it's going to be already. There's loads of rewards. We're sort of adding to them almost on a daily basis. I'm not sure whether we've got too many or not, but anyway, there's something there for everyone. There's merchandise from the show, signed stuff, signed page of the score, which you can get. There's going to be CDs, signed CDs, deluxe version of the CDs.
Dinner with you.
You can come to dinner with me for an evening, yeah, we can have a few beers together. There's going to be a sort of composer buffet type thing where we're going to get a load of us all together and we're all going to have a big party and a chat. Hopefully Megan's going to be there and hopefully Shelley Blonde as well. She's the original voice actress from 1996.
Quite lovely.
Yeah, lovely person too. And what else is there? You can also, if you're feeling flush, you can join us at Abbey Road Studios for one of the recording sessions.
That's pretty incredible. That's basically a private concert.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So when are you looking to launch it again?
We're going to launch, at the moment we've targeted mid-May, which is only about 2 weeks away. So there's still loads of work to do. So I'm apprehensive but confident at the same time.
But when it's ready, when it's live, we'll be promoting it across all the Tomb Raider channels. We definitely want this album to be funded. We want it to get into your hands. We want everybody to have the opportunity
Basically,
to
you
get
guys
rewards.
are going to make it happen.
Yes.
Okay? There's nobody now that can stand in the way of this album happening. It's up to you. If you invest, the album will happen. We don't need to ask anyone's permission now. I've got all of that. Everything's in place. All the contracts are done. All we need is to pay for the studio time and the orchestra. And you're not throwing your money away here. You're not just kind of giving money. You're buying something with your money. So if you put money in, you will get something back for your money. And all the money that we collect from that, we're going to spend on the orchestra and the Abbey Road Studios.
Yeah. It's going to be an amazing part of Tomb Raider history to be a part of. It's very, very exciting.
You know, I've been chasing this project for, well, 19 years. Actually, it's 20 years now, because we're now into 2017. But I remember after Tomb Raider 1, I was approached by Decca Records, who wanted to make the Tomb Raider album. And unfortunately, it didn't happen because the powers that be didn't want it to happen. And so there you go. Since then, I've been pushing and pushing and pushing. We've got to do this. We've got to do this. And now we can do it. It's up to you. So let's do it.
That's great. Better late than never.
Yeah. Why not?
That's fantastic. Okay, so we'll do another preview track. It's everybody kind of wanted. So should we do Venice or T-Rex? Should we do it? Okay. Chat right now. Put in chat. Do you guys want to hear Venice? Do you guys want to hear the T-Rex? We'll wrap up here right after this next song. Answer a couple of questions quick while he gets the track loaded up. No questions, just people fawning over the music in the Kickstarter. All right. There's usually a little bit of a delay, so let's give everybody a couple more minutes and we'll see which one they want. Let's see.
I've got the guys in Poland struggling. They say they can't see the live stream.
That's because they have to be in the app.
You've got to be in the app, guys. Bartosz Listennik.
He is also chatting me. It's pulling up on my phone.
I'm not
refreshing if you're not familiar with Instagram, you have to be on the actual app. You can't watch it from the web browser. So if you go to Instagram Live on the app. All right, we're getting T-Rex both. It's a nice sentiment. I like that. T-Rex. No, it's T-Rex. People are starting to weigh in now. It's definitely T-Rex. Everybody wants to hear that.
T-Rex. The T-Rex is on SoundCloud. But I'm happy to play it.
Venice is also on SoundCloud, isn't it?
No.
No?
But Venice hasn't changed.
Yeah, I guess.
Apart from being remastered. But
yeah.
But none of the notes have changed.
T-Rex, I think, is definitely the winner. So let's play T-Rex. And go ahead and throw any additional questions my way during the... while we're playing it, and maybe I can answer a couple more questions right at the end and we'll sign off, because we're going on almost an hour. We did pretty good. You guys are super chatty and invested, and this is great to be talking about classic Tomb Raider. So let's go ahead, let's play
Okay, so here's
T-Rex.
the extended version of T-Rex.
When the music swelled there and the main theme came in, everybody just started putting the heart emojis and lots of hearts were flying and said it was stunning. That's great. So I didn't catch names because it was streaming so fast and I was trying to take notes, but someone said that this is when their mom is mad, this is the music they hear in their head. And someone else called it the heart attack music, which I liked. And we had another person ask if there was any support from the original team at Core about this project. Has anybody reached out to you or chatted with you about this? I know you only very recently announced the album, but a lot of people did come out to the concert, which was really cool.
Yeah, you know, I'm still in touch with everybody from Core. It's quite a close-knit family, really. They're good friends of mine. And so, yeah, a few of them were able to make the concert. Heather was there, and Gavin, and Martin. It was great to see them, and they thought it was great. Peter Barnard was there as well.
Mm-hmm.
They are fully supportive of what I'm doing. They think it's great. They have helped me along the way with posting stuff and sharing things, and telling everybody they can about the concert and the album. So yeah, they're supportive, but there's not a lot really that they can do other than that. They can't really sort of come into the studio and help me write it.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. It's lovely to know that they're behind the project, and it's lovely to see their faces pop up. When we go to computer shows and stuff like this. I keep bumping into them, and of course when we do, we all hit the bar immediately and reminisce about old times and have a bit of a party. It's really, really good fun. It's good to see them.
Great. All right, any closing thoughts? We're about to sign off. Thank you to everybody who's been chatting and so on. So anything else you want to share before we go?
Well, can I just say I think some of the people in Poland have kind of missed all this. We are going to save this video.
Yeah.
So you will be able to watch it. We're going to post it on...
Probably YouTube.
Probably YouTube, yeah. So you won't miss out. It's unfortunate you didn't get the live stream, but doesn't matter. You'll still get all the information you need. And you'll still be able to hear the tracks as we play them, albeit in a sort of low production quality. But anyway.
Yes, but not for long. When the Kickstarter is funded, they'll get to hear it.
It's all coming. So I guess I just would like to finally just thank everyone for supporting me over these last 20 years, and all the emails I've got of people asking me to release the album. I think without that support, I probably would have given up a long time ago. So I'm very, very grateful to you all. And like I say, this Kickstarter now is up to you guys to make it happen. Let's all club together. I've got some great stuff for you. The album is going to be brilliant. I know it. So, let's make it happen.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.